What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. Today's video, we're going to be covering more secrets of Game Freak from Pokemon Sun and Moon, some cut content, and a new Eevee evolution, and even Worlds 2025 and 2026. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining PanFam by hitting that join channel member button below. So we're going to start off with the Worlds information. So Worlds 2025 image has leaked. We now know what the theme of it is going to be, which I personally love this theme. I love the colors and I love the Pokemon they selected, but notice what Pokemon they selected for the Anaheim Worlds in 2025. We do have the Gen 6 starters, right? We got all three of the Gen 6 starters here, which means they're probably going to be in Pokemon Legends ZA. I don't know if that necessarily means they will be our starter Pokemon, but I can pretty safely confirm that the Gen 6 starters will be in Pokemon Legends ZA, probably catchable in the field. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll get Megas. Maybe they'll get a regional form. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's definitely a big hint at what we're going to see, because we know that PLZA is the big Pokemon game of 2025. Now, not only that, we now know about Pokemon Worlds 2026. And this is the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. This is massive. And they're talking about a whole new thing called Mount Mistral. Now, this is what they're going to be doing. Project Mistral and 2026 Pokemon World Championships. Project Mistral art theme. 2026 Pokemon World Championships art theme. What is Project Mistral? An event that brings together all things Pokemon, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Pokemon and recent rise of the Pokemon World Championships. It'll be held within the same area of Worlds, but Champions will be for players, while Mistral will be for the general public. We commissioned two different art pieces for 2026, the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. As always, the World Championships will be key art for the tournament event. In addition, we would like to request art for Project Mistral, a larger event for the general public. So Project Mistral is going to be a physical Pokemon fan event that you can attend. Pokemon Worlds isn't really like that. It's like, oh, you just mostly watch who's playing and there's like a really nice shop, but there isn't really anything to do. But it seems like Project Mistral is going to be focusing on the actual location, while the World Championships are going to go all in on esports. So this is going to be a really nice change up for brand. I think this is going to be good for everyone involved in this situation here. So I'm personally really excited to hear about this. Now, we have our first cut Pokemon, Baby Vulpix. Baby Vulpix. This has actually been a cut Pokemon we've known from Gen 1 and I believe another generation, but Baby Vulpix has been cut for the third time, and it was originally supposed to be in Generation 4, but there you have it. We don't know the name of it, but I think it might be called Mekon. That's the one what it was called in Gen 1, but I don't know what this name's version in Gen 4 is, but there you have it. Cut Vulpix is very cute, and I love it. Now, let's move over to Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon had a lot of cut content. So, one, there was supposed to be a Pokemon dress-up where you could just put markers and like scars and hats and things on all the Pokemon. It was a really cool feature, but they cut it. I think this would have been pretty neat for the game. And they also had a Pokemon raid battle system. So they've been trying to do raids for a while. We talked about this in the previous video. They're trying to do it since X and Y. They almost brought it for Pokemon Sun and Moon, but it was supposed to be called Survival Island, where you fight Pokemon with your friends, and it's essentially an island where you have to go around and you feed these big Pokemon with you and your friends. And it was supposed to be like the big multiplayer feature of the game. And this essentially got scrapped. It just seemed too hard to actually implement. And there are no recovery facilities on the Battle Island, but you could find HP items in cure status conditions. So it was supposed to be more like a big zone instead of like individual raid battles. And I think this concept image is just generally really funny. I'm glad they cut it, because it doesn't necessarily seem like it would have been fun. But, you know, I'm glad that we got raids and how they are today. Now, another scrapped thing was scrapped gym building. So you would have been able to create your own gym in the Sun and Moon region after you beat the game, and then you would be able to host your own events, invite people to challenge your gym, and you could like set up your gym, set up the design, have trainers in your gym, set up your team, and all that great stuff. And you can even customize your gym badge, which is really sick. Unfortunately, they cut this. I actually think this would have been really sick to do. And I hope they do it in the future, because I think becoming your own Pokemon boss and having your friends trying to fight you would be really sick as a multiplayer feature in general. So definitely would be about that. Now, another cut Pokemon. There was supposed to be a regional Pikachu line that was a fire type. Regional Pikachu line that was fire. So it would have evolved from, I assume, Pichu into this region, and it would have been a fire Pikachu and a fire Raichu. Sort of reminds me of Gorochu, which is the cut final form of the Pikachu line. But, you know, I wish they would have done it. I think Pikachu should get a regional variant. I think that would have been really interesting. And fire is a very cool type. Fire and electric. I wonder if it would have been both. That would have been really sick in general, too. Now, another cut Pokemon, which I think is absolutely devastating. We have official confirmation that an Eevee was cut. Flying Eevee was supposed to be added in Pokemon Sun and Moon. After being told on the design was similar to a design created by a fan, it was decided that the design cost would be very high. If there was a game where Flying Eevee is the main character, or if it had a high value in the game, then it is not worth the high cost. We could make that decision, but it is not the case at the moment. We will put it on hold until we can determine the importance of new Pokemon. So essentially, all the people who are making fan art of the different Eevee evolutions essentially have hit the max creativity, and Game Freak is like, well, if I make this, they probably could easily sue us. They'll feel like we copied their design, and essentially there's a high chance we probably won't be getting another Eevee evolution ever again, just due to the sheer amount of fan art out there for each different Eevee evolution type. But yes, we were supposed to get a flying type Eevee. RIP. It wasn't meant to be, I guess, but I think that's rather interesting that flying was supposed to happen before something like Dragon. Now, we have a bunch of like concept art here for like different moves, and I think Hoopa Unbounds is like I just love how this sketch stuff with the wormhole attack, like this is so sick. And look at this Pikachu, it's absolutely bodied. Like we have a Rayquaza here doing a Dragon Ascent, and just Oshawott just absolutely dies. Like this is honestly awesome, like concept art here. We got what Zarude originally looked like, a really cool concept of Dada Zarude, and Armored Mewtwo concept art. And you can see like what, dude, Armored Mewtwo was supposed to look like a freaking like GPU, a car's wheel, which is awesome, and some sort of like vest and like a steel dice for like its representations for the Armored Mewtwo. I do wish this would have actually become a Pokemon that you can catch in like the mainline games. I think they're really cool. I know it's in Pokemon Go, but it would be really sick to get something like this in a proper Pokemon game in general. Lastly, I want to talk about a couple of small notes. Pokemon Z is officially confirmed. It was supposed to happen, and you can actually see is on the official design documents of Zygarde. And in the official design documents, it says when you translate it, in the Z version, it changes into a different form. That Kajitu version of Z is one of those forms, which I assume is the 100% Zygarde. So it was supposed to happen, but hopefully Pokemon Legends ZA will give us what we actually deserve. Lastly, we do have the official Pokemon timeline, and we get to see the difference in years between the games. So Gen 1 and Gen 3 are part of the first year of Pokemon, at least in the game universe. And then 3 years later, all the Gen 2 games occur. And then a little bit of time after, no actually designated date, but it's going to be the Gen 4 games. And then the biggest jump from Gen 4 to Gen 5 is a 10-year gap, which is really interesting. We don't know the other games for Gen 6, 7, 8, or 9, but I do assume they're going to be further past Black and White for the most part. So, you know, the Pokemon game universe is getting rather deep in general. But guys, let me know in the comment section below what Eevee evolution type you would like to see. We might see flying one day, but who knows? Personally, I really want Dragon or Ghost. Those would be my two favorites. Also, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.